You cannot allow the fear of making a mistake or doing it wrong, or having a regret stop you from even trying. So that's what today's walk and ramble is all about. I've been talking about getting back on YouTube for way too long at this point, and I always make up excuses as to why I can't do it, but I'm honestly tired of my own excuses. So I am going to just be imperfect and just start for the sake of starting. So y'all gonna get this walk today. But one thing I see a lot, I'm seeing a lot of people talking about moving out of America and, traveling abroad or moving abroad permanently. And I know there's a lot happening in America, a lot of unsettling things, besides just all the political stuff, but all of the economic things as well. And so when we were living in Houston, prices were getting insane there. And so I can only imagine what my friends who live in LA or live in New York are dealing with. So yeah, I get it. I get why you want to leave. Part of the reason why I wanted to leave as well. Ooh, I'm about to get hit by a car. And so, yeah, I completely understand that. But one thing that I want people to realize is that just because you leave your home country, it doesn't mean that things will automatically get better. There's still a lot to consider when moving to a new country. And one of those things is the fact that wherever you go, there you are. So whatever things that you have going on in your life, whatever drama or internal things you have going on, you still have to deal with those things. And so I think that's something that people kind of forget when they are moving abroad or even just moving across the country in their home country. And so now we're about to cross the street. You guys are about to see what it's like crossing the street in Asia. You literally just have to step out there. And I should have went already, but this person is being weird. And we're gonna go. And so, yeah. So like I was saying, wherever you go, there you are. So any drama that you have going on that you are the cause of, that's going to continue unless you decide to make a change. But there are things in the place that you're trying to get away from. Of course, you'll get away from those things. But you also have to remember that every country has its own stuff. And so, around the world, they are political considerations. And we're seeing a lot of in these other places that we're going to where, they're like, oh, as a foreigner, you're the cause of the prices going up here. Or, oh, you don't speak the language. And these are all the same things that people that are immigrating to America are dealing with. They're being told the same thing. And so you have to think now you will be the immigrant in another country. And so it's a very high chance that they'll be looking at you in the same way. So you have to be prepared to deal with that. And it's not always that someone is saying something to you directly, but just know that it may be something that can come up or just something that they're thinking. So that's one thing to consider. Besides, what you may be bringing as an individual, you have to think about what is happening in the country that you're going to. But then also just know that anytime you're starting over or making some kind of change, um, you're going to encounter some type of hiccups. There was a plane going over me. And so by that, like for instance, I have been dealing with this whole issue with my phone where I haven't been able to receive text messages from anyone who does not have an iPhone. And so it's been, me trying to get alerts from my bank, or I was trying to log into my GoDaddy account and I couldn't get the verification code. So those are things that are actually impacting my work. And so you'll have these frustrations. It can be something minor like that, or it can be something major. But, you'll have these little inconveniences or obstacles that'll come up, and you have to be prepared to just weather whatever storm or challenge is happening. So some people can encounter things like that, or, having a hard time finding a place to live, or maybe the people in a new place are being rude. You have to be able to not let that stuff deter you. Sometimes things will happen and you'll be like, oh, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I shouldn't have made this change, or maybe I shouldn't move to this country. Whatever the case may be for you, because we're all dealing with different life transitions. But you have to figure out how you are going to weather the storm of change. And so for me, anytime I'm dealing with some type of change, I have to go to my wellness toolkit. And by wellness toolkit, I mean the thing that helps me just maintain my stability. It used to be meditation for me, but more recently I've gotten into audio journaling. And by that, it's literally what I'm doing right now. I'm just walking around and talking to myself in a voice note. And I find that to be really helpful. But also the other thing I'm doing right now, which is just walking and being in the sun. So those three things are part of my personal wellness toolkit. And I'll let you guys see what's happening over here. But when you're dealing with change, you got to be able to weather the storm and not think that, just because, annoying things are happening or bad things are happening, it doesn't mean that you made a mistake. It may be a test to see how bad you really want it. So I believe that sometimes you have to give it time to see how things settle out. Like, let the dust settle rather than just running back to what feels familiar. Because anytime you're making a change in your life, you're going to encounter those uncomfortable moments. Like, that's completely normal. But it's important to come back to why you are making that change in the first place, and if it still feels aligned. Because sometimes you may make a change, you will give it time to let the dust settle, and then you'll realize, actually this is not what I thought it was going to be, and this is not for me. And in that case, you just go back. You can, I don't want to say you can reverse it, but a lot of times you can just go back and make another choice that was more aligned with what you were doing before. So for instance, for me, let's say that I moved here to Thailand and then I decided, this is not what I wanted. This is not what I thought it was going to be. So let me go ahead and just go back to America. Which, y'all, I don't plan on doing that. But never say never. So I have the ability to kind of reverse that change. But, I'll still have the experience. I've tried things and I'm able to know from experience that it doesn't work for me. And I'm one of those people that has to learn on my own. I don't just take what someone else told me and be like, yeah, that's the truth, because it might not be the truth for me. I just think you have to be willing to not only set a vision for yourself based on what you think is best for your life and what you want to experience, but be willing to go through that change, weather the storm, find the resources that help you through it, and then see from there. I always say life is an experiment, and the only way you're going to know what is for you is by trying it. Of course, you want to make good decisions based on what is wise, but you can't let the fear of making a mistake stop you from even trying. That's the most important part. So now I'm headed to a co-working space to get some more work done. But I just wanted to share that thought on my walk today. And I'm doing a little 30-day sprint on YouTube, not overthinking anything. I'm just making these videos and putting it out there. So I will see you guys tomorrow.